In this week's video, a few of the ladies from the marina and I went to a local vineyard and did some wine tasting. That was interesting. And we did have a barrel of laughs.
And I'm going to give you a few pet top tips. Also, in this week's video, we have to replace our microwave after 7 years. Here's how we did it and made it safe.
Us ladies headed north from Vinnicay up into the mountains to find the vineyard. We had approximately 70 kilometres to go. The scenery was spectacular once we started heading into the mountains, and it was good to get away from the marina for the day. Thank you to Nikki for driving. We arrived at the vineyard and at first wondered if it was open, as it was very quiet. Oh, it's very quiet. Smell the wine. That's the wine, please. I don't think they're actually open today. So you're cleaning the tanks?
Yes.
Yeah?
Patara.
Yes, patara.
Patara is very nice. I like it.
Yeah.
You like patara?
Yes.
I think you
Chardonnay.
like more than patara to
Yes.
ajikara.
Yes.
I think you
Yes.
like more than. If you taste it.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, white one. I like the red.
Yeah.
Other part? Okay. Perhaps.
Our guide told us some of the history of how the vineyard was founded. About 4,000 years ago, a local shepherd found an old root from a grapevine on his land and decided to cultivate the root, and it did remarkably well. From the root, the grapes produced made a fantastic wine. This is the legend of how the vineyard started, but there may be some local embellishment on this.
The first of the in the world, the first of the trade wines, and later, 4,000 years later, we continue this job.
Great.
Yes.
Oh.
For 4,000 years.
Generally in art geography.
So we're in the vineyard in Lycia, almost at the top of these mountains. It's absolutely amazing view. This is a bottling plant. Next, our guide took us up to the area where the wine is actually bottled. We were quite surprised to see this was still done by hand, and it was a very noisy process, so I couldn't record all that he was saying to us. We've come out into the gardens, and apparently we're going to do some wine tasting, which should be quite interesting.
So this is one.
Oh, Anne should do the
This is one tasting set, and this is another tasting set. So we've ordered two, which has got a really good variety of the different wines that they produce.
I'll use all yours.
Let's get to it.
Factory, its color is pale yellow color. There's an electrical acidity on the palate. Yes. It's so some tropical tastes have pastel fruit, and on the palate tropical tastes.
Actually, you can smell.
Can you?
You can smell passion fruit. It's now you identify. You can smell it.
Try it, and tropical and some high
That
acidity.
smells nice.
Yes, it's fresh.
Nice.
Go on then, are we going to pour a bit of that into our glass?
All right.
It is acidity and long finish.
You might as well drink it out of the glass, Sandra.
Have I not got more than you lot? Doesn't matter.
We're not counting.
What we'll do is we'll go the other way and then the next one.
Go on.
Then the next person gets the glass. Oh yeah, then we've got extra glasses.
On the way back from the wine tasting, we stopped off at this place called Turquoise Key. Nikki had heard about it and had tried to find it the day before. This is the river that flows from the mountains down into the sea in Finneckay. It is a beautiful spot. There was a small restaurant and bar there, and also some riverside accommodation that you could rent.
Those of you who have watched us from the beginning or can remember our internal boat tour ages ago, you'll know that we fitted a cheap microwave, and it was cheap. Well, it finally gave up the ghost. Nearly 7 years it's lasted, and we paid, I don't know, 50 odd UK pounds for it, something like that. We made a big metal plate in the workshop in order to fix it down so it wouldn't move. Here's the story of how we replaced that microwave with one of a similar size but a totally different colour. So here's a 3D model of the plate we made, and for this microwave we needed some vents in the bottom. It's just flat plate, folded on a folding machine, and 6 holes drilled in, 4 in the bottom and 2 in each of the sides. The 2 sides then pick up on the cabinet screws that actually are already in the side of the microwave. The new microwave is in, and this is the plate that you saw me drawing. You can see we have one of the fixing screws which holds the casing on in this side, and then we sprayed it black. That runs underneath, so we've got ventilation underneath there, and then the same the other side. One of the screws goes through the side. Now it is just slightly different, at 6mm difference in size to the old microwave widthways, but the same otherwise, but absolutely solid in there. You know, you can't move that. Even if the boat was inverted, the microwave would still stay in place. And then that just runs up, power just runs up to our normal power point. So that is how you fit a microwave, conventional mains microwave, into your boat. Of course, you can run it either from your mains shore power, or if you've got a pure sine wave inverter, you can run your microwave from that. I've heard people say that you can run a microwave from you know, a cheap inverter. It's not pure sine wave. And oh, I've been running mine for 7 years and it hasn't blown up yet. Well, yeah, yet. They have a thing called a magnetron inside, which is pretty similar to radar, and they need stabilised current with a proper sine wave on it. You know, not one of these cropped sine waves. So either mains voltage or a high quality, there's the shower pump going off, or a high quality pure sine wave inverter, and you won't have any problems. Some of you will remember Lord Anthony. That's Tony's boat. He's just sold it. How about that for a good idea? Look, if you've got a cat on board, that's one of those noodles, and it's been threaded up, left in the water. The cat can get its claws in and climb back on the boat, so the cat doesn't drown. We've had a couple of incidents where friends who've got felines on board, and the cat has fallen off and then not been able to get back on board. In fact, follow the boat. You remember Millie? Their cat fell off the boat, and luckily they managed to catch her just in time, but she was very worn out. So there you go. If you have a boat with a cat on board, that is a top tip for you. How much an hour?
Oh, $200.
That's cheap. And what about the cleaning?
Oh yeah, then we've got extra glasses.
That's very nice. I don't spit.
Okay, so we got 3 ladies that are swallowing.
Excuse me.
Or if you've got a pure sine wave inverter, you can run your microwave from that. Now, I've heard people say, oh, I run my microwave from a, I've been running mine for 7 years and it hasn't blown up yet.